Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. I hope you're well. Why don't you pull you up a chair and set a spell while I tell you the history of a North Carolina outlaw named Henry Lowery. Henry Barry Lowery in 1845 was an Appalachian outlaw. He was a Lumbee Native American and led a gang in North Carolina during and after the Civil War. Many folks in North Carolina remember him as a Robin Hood figure. He is described as one of those remarkable executive spirits that rise now and then in a raw community without advantages other than the ones given by nature. Lowery's parents were Alan and Mary Lowery in the Hopewell community of North Carolina. His father owned a 300-acre farm. Henry was one of 12 children. The Confederate government used conscription for many locals to work on the building of many forts. The Lowery gang was originally started to help those hiding from conscription. Others resorting to hiding in the swamps to avoid being captured by the Confederate Guard and forced to work for little to no pay. The Lowery gang joined a group of Union soldiers that escaped from the Confederate prison camps, and together they began guerrilla warfare against the Confederacy. December 21st, 1864, Alan Lowery's neighbor James Barnes accused Lowery of stealing hogs. Henry, he shot Barnes dead. In January 1865, Henry also killed James Harris, a conscription officer, for mistreating the Lowery family. In March 1865, the Home Guards searched Alan Lowery's home and found firearms. Free people of color were forbidden to own firearms since 1831. The Home Guard convinced the court Lowery of his son, and they were executed that very month. Henry hid in the bushes as they were hanged. Young Henry became the new leader of the Lowery Band. The Lowery Band was made up of mostly Native Americans, and its chief lieutenants were the black men George Applewhite and Zachariah McLaughlin. The Lowery gang committed many robberies. The victims were treated respectfully considering the circumstances. Victims that were poor avoided being robbed. The gang at times was known for sharing their profits with the poor, such as distributing corn to the hungry. Henry Lowery led the gang in committing a series of robberies and murders against the upper class until 1872. The attempts to capture the gangs became known as the Lowery Wars. Governor William Holder outlawed the gang and offered a $12,000 reward for their capture, dead or alive. Lowery began to do revenge killings as a response to the award advertisement. December 7th, 1865, Henry married Rhonda Strong. At the wedding, Henry was arrested by two former members of the Confederate Home Guard. He was charged with the murder of James Barnes, but he escaped while filing through the bars with a file smuggled into him by members of the Lowery gang. In 1871, Francis Marion Mitchell became colonel of the police guard and the manhunt, and had the wives of the Lowery gang held hostage in prison. Henry and the other gang members sent Wishart a letter: either release the wives or the bloodiest times will begin. Consequently, their wives were let go. The Lowery gang opposed the Democratic control of the government, so they robbed and killed numerous people of the party. The authorities were unable to stop the Lowery gang because of the support of the local citizens helping the gang. The Democratic Party was replaced by the Republican Party, which had more ideals similar with the Lowery gang and of the community as well. February 1872, just after Henry robbed a local sheriff's safe for $28,000, he disappeared. Colonel Bishop called Lowery's death a hoax. The $12,000 reward was never collected. And it is said he accidentally shot himself cleaning a double-barrel shotgun. The death of Lowery is disputed. It was reported that he was seen at a funeral several years after his death. The Lowery gang eventually captured and were all killed. Reverend Patrick Lowery announced his brother's death at his Republican state convention in 1872. In 2005, the Lowery family home was moved to North Carolina at the North Carolina Indian Culture Center, and the house was restored. The death of Henry Lowery never told how he passed, but all that's known is he was never seen again after he stole all that money. And it's told that there are many legends around the money that he hid it somewhere, and his ghost has been spotted guarding that money. I guess we'll never know the truth behind all that. Well, folks, I want to thank you so much for sitting and listening to the tale of the North Carolina outlaw, Henry Lowery. We thank you for listening. We love you to pieces, and we'll see you next time.